Hi, welcome. In this video, I'll give you brief introduction to FYERS. FYERS, as you know, is a discount broker in India, just like Zerodha. It was started in year 2015, so it's approximately 10 years old. FYERS has a web application, mobile app, as well as API to trade using your own software bot. So before we move on to API, let's have a look at this FYERS web interface. So this is FYERS web interface, and as you can see, like many other brokers, they are using trading view charts. Trading view charts are inbuilt in FYERS, and this is pretty interesting. Over here we can select any instrument that we want to see. We can select candle size, then we have candle types, we have technical indicators. We can simply right click and trade and create a order. Over here we have prices, we have this candle chart, all the trading view controls. Over here we can do a lot with trading view these days. It's very interesting and very fast. Down here we have account manager. Over here we can see our positions, orders. These are the orders that we placed, all the positions, trades. These are our holdings and the funds in our accounts. So this is the web application trade.fyers.in. Then we have this mobile app. I'll not cover the mobile app in this tutorial. Then we have API, and this is the documentation for API. You can go to myapi.fyers.in, and this is the currently version 3 of the API. And using this API we can do everything. We can, first of all, we will log into this API, then we can download instruments, we can place order, we can download historical data, as well as we can download live tick data. So we'll cover all these things in the upcoming videos. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video. Hi, welcome back. In this video, we will go through the documentation of the API of FYERS. So the link is here, myapi.fyers.in docs v3. Earlier there used to be a v2, but currently we are working with v3. So this is, make sure this is docs v3. Over here also we have a link for v3 docs. So this is the documentation. It's a very well structured and very comprehensive documentation. One of the best documentations I have come across. Coming to APIs, FYERS APIs, just like any other API, they are HTTP REST like APIs, based on REST APIs. But normally we don't use REST APIs directly. We use some sort of a wrapper. Either we use Python wrapper. So we have a link for Python library. If we open it, you get this Python library here. You can simply install it using pip install FYERS API v3. You can copy it and run it, and it will get installed. So it's a brief introduction is over there how you can use this API. So this is the Python wrapper. Interestingly, there is a node.js library over here. It's a new trend. People have started using Node and React for building their bots. So over here we have a node.js library, which is kind of a JavaScript library used. It can be used installed with Node server or React. You can use it directly with the React or Node. Both ways you can use it. Then we have a web.js library. This library, you can communicate directly through the browser. You get the best speed when you are communicating directly through the browser to the API. So you can use this web.js library. There is also a C# wrapper. So if you are developing using C#, which is not very popular language for data science, but some people do use C#. So there is a C# library over here. And in case you are using a web.js API for browser, there's also CDN links. You can direct copy these links and you don't have to download anything. You can start writing code using these links. Coming over to community, there is a community where you can ask questions and communicate with other people. You can look for questions that people have asked earlier, and it can be useful for troubleshooting. So this is community. All right. So starting with the request and response structure, these are different attributes. You send a curl request like this for authorization. You send API ID and access token. In the next video, we'll see how to create API ID and access token. And this is how you can do using curl. And this is the response that we get. This attribute is a string type, and you'll get OK. Then there is a code 200, it means successful. There is message, and there are other parameters. These are the codes for the error. If there is any error, you will get S as error. Over here you get S as okay. So that's how you know that it's an error, if you get the value of S as error. And then there will be a message. Then there are different data types: int, float, string. you know these are HTTP status codes. 200 means successful, 400 bad request, authorization error. So you can use these codes to determine what happened to the command that you sent. This is interesting. These are the rate limits, and I had problem. I developed a project using FYERS API, and there was slight problem, because over here they say per second 10, but actually this isn't correct. We can make only 3 calls per second, and it created some problem. We had to find another way to do that. This limit became problematic. Per second limit is a bit problematic. It's incorrect over here, 10. It's actually 3. Then there is per minute and per day limit. So these limits are a bit conservative in compared with the other brokers like Zerodha. These limits are not good enough. So you have to be a bit clever while making the calls to FYERS. You need to be careful about not crossing the limit, because with the FYERS, this is another problem. If you cross their limit again and again, they will disable your account for the whole day, for 24 hours. You can only trade next day, so it can be tricky here. So these are permissions. When we create an app, we can specify these permissions, what kind of permissions that API account has. You can create multiple accounts with different permissions. Then third party apps, they are used for platforms, and we are not going to cover platforms in this training. So this is outside the scope. And anyhow, you have to contact them. If you want to develop something for platforms, you need to contact them, and they'll give you the information. Then they have explained this authentication very nicely. They have explained, and we will go through this in the next video. We'll be going through this authentication steps, and you will be able to see how you are going to send them some basic information. Then they will give you a token. Then that is a temporary token. Then you will convert that temporary token to a permanent token. So we will cover that practically. So that's all for this video. In the next video, we'll go further deep into the API documentation. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hi, welcome back. Now, over here, they have given authentication steps, how we can authenticate, and we'll see these things practically. So I'll skip here. This is for third party apps. We are not going to cover that. Now we will come to. So they are explaining Python SDK over here, and these are the arguments that you pass. We'll see these things practically. So this is the section. It allows you to fetch details of the client. If you want to fetch the profile of the client, this is the response. You get all these things when you fetch the response. And over here, they have given the code. This is C URL. This is code, Perl code, and we have Python code. So we are going to use Python in this training. This is Python code. We are going to import the API class. FYERS API v3 will import FYERS model. We'll provide it client ID access token. Access token we'll get after the login process. Then we create a model. This is the standard practice for anything you do with FYERS. These 4 lines will remain same. This is how you do it. This line will differ. Response is equal to write specific commands. Over here we are calling get profile method. Over here FYERS.get profile. So there are a lot of other methods that will use do a different functionality over here, and you get a response that you can print. This is a sample response. You see, this is a sample response. It's a dictionary, and you can go through this dictionary using these keys like S. You code, you can determine whether successful or failure. Then you can get the data. So this is another dictionary within a dictionary. You can fetch this data dictionary, and then you can go through different items like ID, name, image, all these things. So this is to get the profile. Then we have funds. We can find out funds the same way. Python we can call funds function. Also there is code for node. If you are using it for a node, they have given a node code also. That is really nice. We have web modular API and C#. All kind of codes is given over here. So whatever platform you are using, you can use that code to understand this. and you can see what all we need to provide and what kind of response we can expect. So this is really good documentation over here. You can get holdings the same way. You call holdings, you call this holdings function, and this is what you will get. They have also specified data types. This is transaction information like orders. If you want to get a list of orders, you get order book. It will give you list of all the orders. You can go through these orders one by one. You can also get details of a specific order, and to get the detail of specific order you say order book, and you provide some data. This is very nicely done over here. You create a data. This is your variable, and you create a data. For any request you will create a data variable with a dictionary like this. You will specify all your parameters in a dictionary, call it data, and then you pass this data to your function. So fires.orderbook data, this will give you order details based on your data, which is your order id, and you will get the details of the order. Then you can specify order tag. Order tag is that you can give your own order id. You can bind it with an order, and then you can connect the dots using order tag. This is a nice functionality over here. You can get positions. You can get a list of trades. There is trade filter by order tag. You can specify the order tag and filter the trades. This is for order placement guide, so you can place orders like this. So there is a lot of introduction over here about order types, limit order, market order, stop loss order, stop limit order. There is all kind of orders are possible. Basket order is also there. Then there are different product types, intraday CNC margin, cover orders. So this is kind of some theory given over here, bracket orders. This is a really nice feature over here. You can place bracket orders. This is some theory, and over here this they have given the code to place an order. So again you will create a data variable, and you will provide all the different parameters like what symbol you want to place order, what quantity, what type of order it is, what side it is. They have given details over here. Type means one means limit, two means market order. The same way side, one means buy, minus one means sell. So everything is given over here. You create your data dictionary over here, and you place order and pass this data dictionary, and you will get a success response or a failure response over here. Same way you can place multiple orders also. Then there are other transactions like you can modify orders, you can cancel order, you can exit positions, you can exit position by id, convert position, you can calculate margin, market status. So API, it has been the wrapper, Python wrapper, it has been developed pretty well. I won't comment on the performance of the broker, but in terms of API is really good. Here you can download instruments or your symbol master, and they have given these links for different derivatives, equity, capital markets, everything, MCX. They have given these symbol masters. You can download these symbol masters using your code also. So that is pretty much introduction to this API documentation I have covered. Now in the training, we will perform all these actions using the Python wrapper. So I'll see you in another video. Thank you for watching. Bye. Before we begin actual coding, let's create our environment for coding. So although it is possible to download Python and other libraries manually one by one, I think the easiest way to do it is Anaconda. So we are over here at anaconda.com, and we can download Anaconda over here for different operating systems. I'm using Mac, so I have already downloaded Anaconda for Mac, and I have installed it. It's pretty straightforward, you can do it. So let me start with Anaconda. Anaconda will manage all your libraries and IDEs. You just download Anaconda, and most of your work is done with Anaconda. You don't have to install each and everything separately. This is Anaconda homepage. and you can say these are different IDEs that we use in our data science projects. So the most common GUIs that we are going to use is Jupyter Notebook and Spider. Using Anaconda, you can create separate environments for different applications. Over here, we have this create button. Click on this button, write the name of the environment, and over here you can see there are lots of packages that have been installed automatically, like Python. It's showing the version. If you click over here at the checkbox, you can see there are different versions. So you can change, downgrade your version from over here. Similarly, if you search for pandas, you see pandas is not installed over here. So what you can do is click on not installed, then you search for the specific libraries, and you see pandas is over here. Select this library over here and click apply, and you see this package is installed. It's installing the packages, and it's pretty easy. You can install your libraries using this GUI over here, or alternatively you can click here, open terminal. So it will open a terminal window in Mac. In Windows it will open a command prompt. So this library will be installed. It says it's already installed. It will take a few seconds and it will be installed. Easy? Okay. Now let's move on to using this environment. We can select our environment from over here, which environment we are going to use. And initially you'll have to install Jupyter Notebook and Spider. These are two IDEs that we are going to use in this training, primarily Jupyter Notebook. I find Jupyter Notebook very useful in terms of training and sharing the documents. So let's launch Jupyter Notebook. Jupyter Notebook is a browser based IDE. So we can create our code files over here, and then we can share those code files with other people. And it can be hosted online also. So it's very easy to use. Here you can see list of all the folders in your home directory. So you can go to any of the folders and work over here. In this training, when you are watching a video, you can go to resource section and download your notebook file from here. Once it's downloaded, you can go to this folder and say copy this file and then paste it in your training folder. Then you can open this file using Jupyter Notebook GUI. See, this file is over here. So I simply click it and this file is open, and now I can start using this file. Simple. Alternatively, we can also create new files of our own. And we can start writing our code. Say import libraries and then run it. Then we can write our own code, like I'm declaring a variable. So here we get the result of the code that we are writing. We can write code one by one, line by line, and we can move these lines up and down. Here we have this menu that you can use. It saves automatically. You can save it manually also using this button. You can add extra cells over here in between. You can delete a cell. You can copy the cells and then you can move the cell up and down like this. You can run it from here and you can break this kernel like this. If it's taking too long, you can break it like this and you can restart the kernel. You can also add comments. Say I add extra cell and I want to give it a heading, so we call it heading, and we change the type over here and call it heading. Okay, and run it, so it becomes a nice heading. This way we can add comments like this. Here I say addition, then convert it to markdown and run it. So we have these fancy looking titles over here. Now moving on to the another GUI that we are going to require, that is Spider. Spider is also very powerful and you can do almost everything with Spider. So some of the code that we are going to run in the background, say downloading tick data, we can do it with Spider. You can use either of the two GUI, it's up to you. So in Spider we can write code like this. We can have multiple files open at the same time. Over here we can go to the folder that we want. Say on desktop I want algo projects, trading strategies, and then I click on files, and then these are all the files. We can open any of the files and start working on these files. We can create our own new file and say a is equal to 10, b is equal to 20, c is equal to a plus b, print c. We can also run the code line by line, or we can run the whole code in one go. Very interesting feature is variable explorer. Here you can see the value of all the variables. Very handy in troubleshooting. Then we have console over here where we get the output of our commands. So in this case, print C command prints this value 30 over here. You can open multiple console windows and you can run different separate files in separate windows. You can also open multiple spider windows. So if you want to run two separate projects and you don't want to disturb one project, you can open a separate spider window and run that project in that spider window and do your work in a separate spider window, or you can open multiple console windows over here. Finally, one more tool that we are going to use in this training is MySQL Server. So MySQL Server installation is a bit time consuming. It will take a lot of time to install MySQL and then MySQL Workbench, and that's not the part of this training. So you can look for additional resources in case you are not familiar with databases. I have these three different servers over here. I can connect to any of the servers. On the left side, we have all the databases that we have created. You can create your own new database. Then you can right click and create your tables, give the names of the columns like ID, int, what type of ID, it's a primary key, it's auto increment. Click on apply. We have this test table. You can right click and select rows. Over here in this window, you type your commands, your queries, SQL queries to fetch data, to insert or update data. And here you'll get the data. In this window, you come to know what happened to your query, whether it was successful or failure. So we have this test table and there is no data. So we can insert some data. Then we can select this row and click on this third icon over here, execute. We have got an error, no database selected. So we need to select the database first, use test, use algo. Name of the database is algo, test is the name of the table. Execute it. Now this is successful. Now we can run this command, insert. So we are able to insert the data in this table. Let's check out. We have got this data. Alternatively, you can run update command or delete command. So you need to learn a bit of databases, basic writing, basic queries. That much is required, and it's outside the scope of this training. You can look for additional resources how to work with databases. Thank you for watching. Bye. In this video, I'll show you the process of creating your API on FYERS. It will maximum take a few minutes. So we are logged into FYERS account here. Now I click over here and go to developers. And here we have a link for API creation. So takes us to myapi.fyers.in. Click on get started. And this is where we create the API. You can directly put this link also. Then it will ask you for login and you will be able to log into this with the same credentials. And here we have an option on this link to create an app. So click on create app. Here you have to provide all these parameters. So first of all, it's app name. You can give any app name. So I'm giving it FYERS app. You can write anything here. Then redirect URL. You can put any dummy URL, but it needs to be HTTPS. So you need to write HTTPS first, and then you can write anything like it should be some valid name like 127.0.0.1. This is a dummy. This means localhost, and I put 80 port and I give it a name. But you need to note it because you are going to require it later. So this needs to be something take note of, and while calling the API, we will have to provide this. So now this is unique to this broker. In the description, again, you can write anything like my app or FYERS. Webhook we are not going to require, so you can simply click here and delete. Now in over here you select all these options. So because give all the permissions to this app and accept this terms and conditions. Standard way. Now you will click on create app. Once you create the app, it will tell you it's successful. This is app, and over here you can see app ID and secret ID. You need to take note of this app ID and secret ID because you are going to require these two things while working with this app. So that's all about creating an app. It's very easy, and in the next videos we will use this app ID and secret ID and we'll be talking to this app using our Python programs. So thank you. See you later. Hi, welcome back. In the last video, we created this app, FYERS app, and I forgot to mention that you don't have to worry about this inactive status. It will get activated soon. Now, in this video, we are going to use this app ID and this secret ID to manually log into the app. So over here, I have put client ID, whatever is the app ID, this thing, I have put it over here as the client ID. Now I am importing this library FYERS API v3, and from here I import FYERS model. This is the one line that you need to import always. Then you mention your app ID as a client ID. This is the redirect URL that we used while creating the app. So you need to provide this redirect URL. It needs to be same that you provided earlier. These are two lines of code that need to be there as it is. You don't have to make any change. It is required, but there is nothing special about it. We don't have to provide anything different here. You just copy and paste these two lines. Then we are creating this session. For that, we are using FYERS model class and calling this function session model. And we are providing all this data that we created. We are providing our client ID, secret ID, redirect URL, response type, and so I forget to put the secret key here. So let me put it secret key and put it here. Now with session, we'll create generate auth code. This function we call, and it will return a URI. This URI I'm going to print. So let's start URI. This is the basically the hyperlink or URL that you need to use every day. You don't have to do it again and again. You can just keep a note of it. You can copy it and you click on this. Here it's asking you for app permissions. These are the app permissions, and you continue. It gives us a URL. This is the URL. We need this URL. So what I'll do is I'll simply copy it and I'll paste it here. Fine. This URL contains authentication code. This is the authentication code that we are going to require, this much. So we'll need to strip this authentication code. And you can see here, this is the same URL that we have given as a redirect URL. So that's the purpose of redirect URL. You can put anything over here. It will simply take us to this address. Although this address does not exist, had it existed, maybe we can put a web server and we can consume this part. We can write PHP code to take out this part and store in the database. That is one way of this redirect thing. But usually we don't do it. We do it kind of, we read this address of the browser when we are automatically login. I'll show you in the later videos, and we take out this authentication code. Also, I'm going to require a TOTP key. This is a TOTP key that we have. And with this TOTP key, we will be able to create a one-time password. So let me do that. This is one-time password. And we are going to use this one-time password. This is the URL. We are stripping this URL to take out the authentication code. So if I run this part, let me run this part separately. This is taking out this authentication code from this URL. This is the URL, and out of this URL, we take out just this code. We are splitting URL after login. We are splitting authenticate auth code equal to, this is auth code is equal to, we are splitting it here, and then we are splitting, removing end state, and we are taking the first part, which is this authentication code. We are going to require this authentication code, and we are going to generate an access code using this authorization code. And for that, we need this TOTP also. And this thing needs to be done faster. So let me do it again. And let me first of all run it. And see, we are able to run it. We get this details. So now let me explain it to you. We have this grant type authorization code. We don't have to do anything about it. We just keep it as it is. And we are creating a session. Here we are passing a separate grant type, which was not there earlier. Same thing, this one. This is an extra variable that we are passing here. Once we are creating this session, we set this authentication code. This code we are setting, and we call this function generate token. Generate token will generate the access code that we are going to require for the whole day. And if code is equal to 200, it means if this thing out of response we are taking out code, 200 means it's okay, it's successful. Then we are taking out access code, access token from response. Response is a dictionary and from a list, and over here we are taking access token, and this access token we are printing. This access token we are going to pass in all the functions that we are going to use. So say we are creating a FYERS model, and we pass this access token to it. So for the next 24 hours we will have this access token. This will work, this will stop working after 24 hours, and we create a model. After that, create a get profile. This is a function to test whether we are able to successfully connect to API or not. So we are getting details of our profile over here. When we call this get profile, it means our this thing API connection has happened successfully. We are able to call our first function successfully on the API. So this is the manual login process. In the next video, I'll show you the automatic login process. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Hi there. Many people have been asking for complete automation of login process. Although due to security reasons, it's advisable that you keep the Kite API based manual login process in place. Still, if you have small operations and you want to fully automate the process, you can do it pretty easily. In this video, I am going to explain the Selenium Python library that you can use to interact with the login page using code. You can easily install this library using this pip command, as we did in one of the earlier videos. Earlier, while working with this Selenium, you were required to download these drivers based on the choice of browser that you use. But recently, I have observed there is no need to download these drivers while working with Chrome. So, in case you are facing some issue in running the code, you can post a question and I'll look into it. Let's check out how Selenium works. I have this small two-line code. First of all, I'm importing the Selenium library. So let's run it. Then I'm creating an object of WebDriver Chrome class. And finally, I run this browser.get command and put the name of the website over here. Chrome is being controlled by automated test software. So you can see I'm able to open a particular website using Selenium. There are all these elements over here. We have a input box, two buttons. Once this page is rendered in the browser window controlled by the code, we'll be able to interact with all these different elements in the window. That's the purpose of Selenium, to automatically open a page and execute some functions on the page using the code the way a human being interacts with a website. In the next video, we will learn web scraping. That is how you can interact with different elements on a page using the code. So thanks for watching. Bye. Hi, welcome back. I have created this small web page using HTML. Let me open it. It's a small page with a heading, a paragraph, and a button. If I click this button, text in the heading is changed. That's how a normal human being will use a web page, but not us. We want to do everything using code. If we right click this page and click on view page source, we get this HTML source code. So this is the HTML code we have written to produce this output. Many of you will be familiar with this HTML code, but if you are not, I'll explain it to you. It's pretty easy. Any HTML document begins with HTML tag and ends with /HTML. Inside HTML, we have head and body elements. And within body, there are other elements nested. So if we look at the code of the page we have written, you can see a similar structure. We have HTML tags, then head and body. Within body we have div. One more div is nested within this div. If we inspect one particular element to understand its location within the document, we can see it like this: HTML, body, div1, h2. So this is the location of heading. This location is called XPath. Similarly, for this paragraph, this is the XPath and XPath for button. So now we can interact with these elements of the web page using Selenium. Using this XPath, we'll be able to interact with different elements in the page. Let's open Jupyter Notebook. Here we have written the code similar to earlier video, but instead of opening a website, I'm opening a file located in my computer on desktop. The file I just showed you, this file. So let's get going. As you can see, this page is rendered by the code, and now we want to interact with this page. We want to read this text written in the heading, and then we want to click this button. So let's see. As you can see, we have got the text written in the heading. So what I'm doing over here is getting an handle on the element. With this function browser.findElement, I'm going to find the element using XPath property. And this is the XPath of the heading, as I explained in the earlier video. Heading is located in HTML, body, div, h2. This is the XPath. So I'm asking this browser object to find an element using XPath property while providing the XPath. And this gives me a handle in element1 variable. Using element1 variable, I'll run a function getAttribute, and I'll tell the function to get me inner text of this element. So this inner text is stored in value variable, and finally I'm printing the value. So this is the heading. Finally, I get a handle of the button with this XPath calling similar function, and then I call the click function to click on the button, and I run it. So if we check now, it says button clicked. It means code has clicked on this button. Code is able to interact with the page as if a human being is interacting. In the next video, we will interact with the Kite Connect login page in the similar way using Selenium code. So thanks for watching. Bye.
Hi, welcome back. In the last video, we manually logged into FYERS API. In this video, we are going to automate the login process using Selenium so that you don't have to log in manually every morning. So over here, I have made this security.py file with all these details: client ID, secret ID, redirect URL, response code, state, TOTP key, username, mobile number, and PIN. All the details we had in the previous file. These are the details we are going to require in order to log in. Over here, I have a small text file where I put the final access token. I store this final access token and I put a timestamp so that when my code runs, it can check this timestamp. If this timestamp belongs to today, it means we are already logged in. If this timestamp is yesterday's date, then it means we are not yet logged in, and the software will log in automatically. So this is login.py. This is our code to automate the login process. As I explained you the Selenium concepts, basically we are going to mimic the manual logging using the web browser, Chrome browser, and we are going to put all these, our username, our TOTP key and password and everything using Selenium, so that we, it happens automatically. The code is pretty much same. Here we are checking whether we are already logged in or not logged in. If we are already logged in, it will simply create the model and return us an object of model. But if we are not logged in, then we are going to go through the same function that we have written in the manual login process. And here this is different. This is, here we are going to use Selenium, like we used Selenium earlier. The same way we are going to use Selenium, and we are going to open this link. And here we are accessing all the controls, like client ID. Here we are accessing the path of the client ID, and then we are passing our client ID to that. Then we sleep for 1 second, then we click on another button, and here we are passing on TOTP key to all the different text boxes. Then here click on confirm, OTP submit. So we are clicking the button of OTP. Then we are putting pin number. Pin number is our 4-digit pin number. Then this is the 4 pins we are creating, and we send it to 4 different text boxes, because we have this variable cd.pin. This is the variable here, cd.pin. We are taking out 5, 4, 3, 2 separately using this method. This looks a bit complicated, but basically we are taking out all the 4 digits by dividing 1010 like this. And we are passing to 4 different text boxes, and then we click on submit button. Finally, we take the URL, and from that URL, we are going to take out our code and convert it to an access token like we did in a manual login. So it's pretty easy. Let's run it. So to run it, I have a different file, daily login. This file has some additional utilities, but basically this is some custom code that I'll disable for now. We can disable this code. This is the login file. We are creating an object of login file. This is an object of login file. I pass false. If I pass true, it will always log in. If I pass false, it will log in only if we are not already logged in. So that's how it takes. And then we initiate, we call this function initiate, and it will log in. Then we are simply copying this authentication code at various places for using. And finally, it will send an email to us. It will send an email that we are logged in or something, right? Here we are downloading the instrument. If we require this one also, I am disabling for the time being. This one again we are disabling. Now let's run this file. This will in turn call the login file, and it says here we have Chrome driver. So it failed to run this. This is a Selenium issue, a common problem with Chrome drivers, because Chrome driver version keeps getting updated, and it's saying that Chrome browser is 124 and our file for driver is 122 version. So what we need to do is upgrade. You need to upgrade the Chrome driver version. We can go to this website, chromedriver.chromium.org, and go to this testing dashboard. Here you will get the latest one. So this is 124 stable, and this is the one we need. We need driver. We don't need Chrome. We don't need Chrome. We need Chrome driver, and we need for our operating system. So I am using Mac ARM64. So this is the one I need, and so I'll copy this and download it. And here it's downloaded. I will simply unzip it. This is Chrome driver. I need to copy this Chrome driver, and I need to go to this path. It's specified here in the error message what path we need. This is the path. We need to go to this path, and we can go through here, go and sorry, not in code. We need to come to this, and we need to go to this path, go to folder, and we provide this path over here and enter. It takes us here, and here we can simply paste it and replace. So we have replaced our Chrome driver. In Windows, you can put in C drive. You can download and put in C drive, and it will work. So now we'll run again. It's a security message. We'll say OK. And here Selenium is opening this URL, providing the client ID, providing the TOTP, and now 4-digit security code. And here we get the URL, and from there it took out that token, and from token it has created an access token. The whole thing that we did manually, now it has been done in an automatic way using the Selenium. So that was an overview of how we can automatically log into FYERS API every morning. I run this script every morning, it automatically runs. I configure it in a task manager and it automatically runs, so I don't have to log in every day. It happens automatically. So that's all. Thank you for watching. Bye. Hi, welcome back. In this video, we are going to explore some common functions in the FYERS API. So let's import pandas, then import FYERS API v3, FYERS model. These are our credentials, client ID, secret ID, redirect URL. These two lines remain as it is. This is access token that I have copy paste from my earlier code. Let's create a model. So our model is ready FYERS. Now using FYERS, I can call different functions. Like first of all, get client profile. So I want to get the profile of the client. So this is the my profile details, some basic details about me. Then funds. This is the detail of the funds available in my account. So you can see we have equity amount, commodity amount, like that. Then if we have any holdings, it means long term holdings of any shares, if we have, it will give us holdings, FYERS.holdings. So we don't have any holdings here. Now we have this get quotes. So we create a data with our symbols and we call quotes. So this will give us the basic data of price availability for that symbol. So this is last price, open price, low price, high price, previous close price, all the price related data, we asks and bids and everything. Because it's an index, there are no asks or bids. So this is one function when you are interested in mainly price, when you want on demand price. We can take out last price from this, and for that we will take a response code is 200, it means it is successful. Out of response we take D, out of D we take first one, then V, and then LP. So there is a hierarchy. If I print only response, so you will get this is response. Out of response I take out D, and D is this. Out of D I take out first one, this is first one, and then I take the value of V, this is V, and I get the value of V. Then out of V I take out the value of LP. So this is last price value. This way I can take out. I can also get depth using depth function. So let's see, this is market depth. We are getting for SBI. Here we are putting equity. Over here we have put index. So this is market depth data for SBIN. That's all. Thank you for watching. Bye. Hi, welcome back. In this video, we will explore symbol master, or we can also call it instruments. So these are the list of symbols or instruments that we are going to require while working with this API. If we want to place order, or if we want to get historical data, we need to have details of what kind of instruments FYERS support and what is the format of those instruments. Here we have all these links given for currency, for equities, NSC, PSC, MCX, all these are there. And if you look at one of these files, it's a CSV file, it looks like this. So it is the data. Unfortunately, there is no heading, no heading columns given in this file. So I had to spend a lot of time and prepare the column names. So here we have, these are different, this is the link, these are different instrument types: future, FUTIVX, future stock, options, IDX, option stock, options index, and option stocks. These are instrument types. So this is the data, sort of data, and I have created these column names looking at the data. Now here we are directly reading this file using pd.read CSV, and we are providing these column names to this data frame so that we know what column is what, and also we are adding index column is equal to false over here. So let's see what we get. This is what we get. This is FY token, symbol details, exchange instrument type, So we are going to use these instrument types to filter. So this is 11 for futures and 14 for options, this way. Then there is lot size, minimum lot size. This is minimum lot size. This is tick size. We have trading session is not required. Last update not required. Expiry date is in Unix format. So we need to convert this expiry date from Unix to normal date format so that we can understand. So for that, first of all, we will convert it to normal pandas date time, period to date time. This will convert it in on regular date with the per second. We are specifying this is a per second data. And so if we do that and we check, here we get this expiry date. Now again there is a problem because this is a UTC date time. This time is UTC. So we will add 5:30, 5 hours 30 minutes to convert it to IST, Indian Standard Time. This will give us IST. And from that we will just take the date part. We don't need hours and minutes. We will take the date part. After doing this, we get our regular date. So this is our expiry date. So this is the kind of cleaning we need to do. Then we can filter options data using instrument type 14. So I specified we have instrument type column here. So we are filtering for 14 number. Also, we are filtering for indexes. Only 3 index data. You can filter whatever you require. So we are providing Nifty, Bank Nifty, and Fin Nifty. So this is filtering. This is entirely optional. And then we are taking out just a few columns which are important for us. There are lots of columns that we do not require. These are all the important columns that we require. So if we do until this, we have this 7,381 rows. We don't need that much data. We just need nearby data. So we'll just take options which are up to 120 days from today's date. So we are doing further filtering to reduce our data. And here we have 6,732 rows. So this is nearby data, 3 months data. Now we can, these are some of the functions that you may require. If you want to find out the nearest expiry or second expiry, you can use this kind of code to get the expiry dates. So if I do like this, I'm getting I'm getting all the expiry dates, and I'm taking only 2 expiry dates out of it and then printing. So these are 2 nearest expiry dates, 30th April and 30th April. Then if we can do it, we can take out 2 dates like this. And if I use it for Bank Nifty, then we can filter for a specific strike price. This is for specific strike price 46,000. We can drop duplicates, and here this we have already done. This is options beyond today. We are removing the historical data. Sometimes we may have older files, so this will remove the older expiry date options. Then we get first expiry date. I've already shown you. This is second expiry date. And here I'm filtering with multiple parameters. So I'm filtering for a specific expiry date at a specific strike price, specific option type, put option, and Bank Nifty. So this way we can filter this whole data to get what we need. So here we have a specific Bank Nifty 46,000 put option data. This way we can use this symbols data to pick out the symbol, because while placing the order, we might require this token or this symbol ticker that you need to provide as it is. You will require expiry date, you need lot size also. So to get these details, we'll have to work with these symbol files. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hi, welcome back. In this video, we are going to fetch historical data using FYERS API. So in order to access historical data, we need to provide this dictionary. We need to create this dictionary where we provide the symbol. We have this index code NSC or NFO, and then we have name Nifty Bank, and we are specifying this is an index. Then you need to provide a resolution, which is one of these. So if we need 5-minute data, we provide 5. If we need 30 minutes, we provide 30. If we need daily data we provide D. So this way we need to provide resolution. Then we are providing date format. Date format, whether we are providing Unix date or our regular date. So because we are going to work with this regular date, we are providing date format as 1. This means we can specify dates like this. Then we need to provide range from and range to. This is the start date and end date. And this remains 1. You don't have to worry about this. So this is the data we are preparing. This is for Nifty Bank index. Then we use our FYERS model and call the history function node and provide this data that we just prepared. This will give us some response. So let me comment this and print just response. And so we are getting response. Here we are getting Unix date time. This is our OHLC data. Because this is an index, there is no volume column. So we first of all, these are the candles. Then there is code 200. Code 200 means this is successful. And if it was not 200, if it was some other code, there would be some error message over here. We can take out that error message. So first of all, we read the code and we check if code is 200, it means we are successful. Otherwise, we will print the error message. If code is 200, then we take out the candles part here. We have this candles part. Providing this candle in this dictionary, we will get this list. And we are providing column names. These are column names. Again, date, time, open, high, low, close, and volume. Then we convert date time to a regular date time. This is Unix date time and we are converting it to regular date time and adding our time zone 5 hours 30 minutes for Indian time zone. So let's do this. Now we have it in the correct format. This is 26 March 9:15, 9:20, 9:25. These are different candles. The same way you can get candles for your day or 5 seconds, 10 seconds, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, any sort of candles you can get here. Then and you need to remember you can make maximum 3 calls within 1 second. You can't really make a lot of calls in every second. You need to put some delay while making the call. This is the same code. I have written it in a different format. I have given a made it a kind of a wrapper, given it a name, get historical data. We just pass symbol, start date, end date, and resolution, and it will add this extra information, index and NSE. You do not have to provide this. So this is the same thing written in a slightly different way, and then we can call these functions, and it will do the same thing. We can filter this data, passing this date time, and then we'll get the data. We can also get the tail, of the data. Df is not defined. We have, because we haven't used the function, that's why it says df is not. Yeah, now we can get, see, we are filtering this time for a specific time and we are getting last candle. So this way we can download our historical data and then you can do anything. You might save it to your database or you can put it in your script, any strategy. So that's pretty much it. Thank you for watching. Bye. Hi, welcome back. In this video, we'll discuss how to place orders on FYERS API. So if you go through this documentation, order placement guide, it's a very well structured guide about order placement. And there is a bit of theory that you might need to read. There are different type of orders like limit order, market order, stop loss market order, stop loss order. Then these are different type of products. Most of the brokers in India have these products like intraday, which is, you have to buy and sell the same day. Then there is CNC. These orders, they can be carried forward to other next days. The margin, how much margin you have. Cover order or bracket order. Bracket order is where you are placing stop loss and target order at the same time. When you place an order, at the same time you also place a stop loss order and target order at the same time. This is bracket order. So you can go through this documentation. There is order tag. You can give your own tag while placing the order. This is the code for placing the order, which is pretty simple. You have to create this dictionary with your data, what symbol you want to purchase, quantity, type, side, product type, limit order, stop price, all these things, and you get a response. This is also given for node. This is the order placement. So coming over here, to summarize, we have these 4 types of orders. 1 means limit order, 2 means market order, 3 means stop order, and 4 stop limit order. So basically we are using this market order here in this video. So we will use order type 2. Then there are two sides. One means buy, minus one means sells. And we can choose product type. We are going to use intraday because we are going to deal with same day orders. Then there is validity, immediate or cancel, or valid till end of the day. So we usually use day type. So I have prepared this dictionary. Data is equal to, I have given a symbol. It has to be prefixed with NSE, and this quantity 30. 30 is, because lot size is 15, 15 multiplied by 2. So we are purchasing two lots. Type 2 means market order. Side 1 means buy. If we have to sell, we say side minus 1. Product type intraday. Limit price we are not giving it because it's a market order. Stop price we are not giving. This validity is day. It means the order will stay there. It will wait for execution. Offline order false, and order tag we are giving tag 1. And when we run this command, we are going to place an order. So let's click this. Moving on, we have data. Same way, we are creating this dictionary for a bracket order. Here we are passing 15 quantity, order type 2, side 1 means buy. And here we are passing stop loss. Make sure you do not provide this stop price, but you provide stop loss. And then there is take profit also 20 points, stop loss 10 points, take profit 20 points, validity, and we run this one. You can place multiple orders. So you create this data dictionary with different multiple orders, and you can pass as place basket orders, and all of these orders are placed. Then providing an order ID, you can modify the order. You can change the quantity or price here, and you can provide order ID. Then you call modify order. You can modify multiple orders the same way. Then you can cancel an order with ID. So you prepare this dictionary ID and call cancel order function. Similarly, you can cancel multiple orders. Here we are providing blank data. There is no data. And we can exit positions. It means it will exit all the positions. We can also exit positions by product type or segment. So exit all intraday positions like this. We can convert, intraday to CNC or CNC to intraday. So for that we have function convert position. So let's see some of the orders that we have placed. That's all. Thank you for watching. Bye. Hi, welcome back. In this video we will work with order book. So we'll fetch the order details. To get the order book, we have this function FYERS.orderbook. I have already logged in, and now I'm calling this function. So you can see we can get a list of all the orders. And out of response, see we have code 200. That means this is a correct response. There is no message because there is no error. And then there is order book. And this is the detail of order book. So first of all, I can get just the order book. So if I do that, I get just the order book. And you can see there are various orders in the order book. It's a list of dictionaries. So I get the first dictionary out of the list. To do that, I will just put 0. So this is the first dictionary which is in the list of orders. And we can say this is client ID, this is token, this is ID of the order, source is API, status, this is the symbol. This is the quantity, this means two lots, bank nifty, and this is the date and time of placement of order. This is the filled quantity. It means placed order for 30 and it was filled completely. So this is the traded price and last price because this is a call option. Alternatively, I trade through the order book using this for item in order book, and we can get a list of all the symbols, item symbol. If we want to get details of a particular order, so if I copy this ID and put it here, so we can get details of that particular order ID, and we will use order book and we'll pass this ID as the order ID. This is the data we are passing. And if the code is 200, we can get parts of the order book. So we get a response here, and out of that response we get status and traded price. So this status 2 means it's filled, and 293 is the traded price. So this way we can get the details of the orders. Now positions, these are the positions, net positions, and we get the response. This is one of the positions. bracket order. We can get a list of trades, all the trades that have happened, because orders might not have been placed. So this is trade book. We get trade book, and similarly we'll get the trade book out of this whole object, and we can go through each item, order number, exchange order number, all the details of the trade. So that's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hi, welcome back. So in this video, we are going to fetch live tick data using WebSockets. So for WebSockets, we are going to import FYERS WebSocket data underscore WS. This is the class we are going to import from this package. And we have different functions. This is own message function, own error, own close, own open, and this is the data we are sending. So let me go one by one. All these functions are going to be used. First of all, we create these functions that will handle different events. Like when you open WebSockets, initially you are going to call onOpen, and here you are going to pass data type, symbol update, it remains same. Then we provide a list of symbols like NSE Nifty 50 index, NSE Nifty 50 Nifty Bank index. This way you can provide name of the exchange and the stock code. In case of index, you pass index. Then you call subscribe method, fires.subscribe, and you pass these symbols and data type as data type, and call this function keep running. So this is run initially once only. When you start call this code, this function is called fun once only. Then this function when the connection is closed, this function in case of an error, and this is the main function that will accept the tick data. On message is called every time some data arrives, so that data will be in message, and we can check if LTP exists in message, then we can take out LTP and we can take out other data, and then we can print or we can save in the database. This is the main function that will give us the tick data. This is the security data FYERS data socket. We provide access token, we provide log path. This is standard. These are the four functions we have defined over here, and we are passing. We are telling the code that these functions are supposed to be called. On connect, we will call this function, on close this function, on message this function. So we are providing the names of these functions here, and finally we call connect. Once this is connected, these symbols are subscribed and we start getting the data. So let's see, we run this code and it says it is subscribing here 3, and here we have started getting the data. We can resubscribe. Over here in Jupyter notebook, we need to stop the kernel. We can't stop it like this. We'll have to restart the kernel. Then that way it will stop. You can see we are getting time, which is in Unix. We are getting symbol and LTP. You can get more details also if you change the mode. So you can refer to the documentation what all you can do with WebSockets. I hope you enjoyed. That's all. I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Bye. Hi, welcome back. In this video, I'll give you just an overview of a trading bot we developed using FYERS API, and this is not in the scope of this training, so I am not going to provide any code for this. I'm just give you overview or introduction so that you get an idea what can be developed. So let's open it. It's running on my VPS. It's coming from another VPS server. So you can see this is data coming up, and we have placed an order over here. As this price comes here, this order will be placed to FYERS, and this is live time. For this project, we have used React as a front end, and we have used lightweight charts from TradingView. Integrated that, we also used Web API to get real-time data on the website. And for the backend, we are using Node.js server. And to store the data, we are using MySQL database. So you can see in Node.js, we have written this node code to place orders, all these files. And I won't go into the details. I'll just show you the functionality of the bot. Put the functionality here. So you can see we have technical indicators like EMA and super trend, and we also have pivot points over here. And we can add multiple of these technical indicators. We can scroll through, we can zoom in, zoom out, and clicking over here we can place order, buy call order, and you see the message. The order is placed on FYERS. All these orders we have placed using this board. We can also drag this order and we can delete the order. So that's all. Thank you for watching. Bye. Hi, let's go through some technical indicators. So over here, I'm providing Python code for some popular technical indicators. For that, we need these libraries. We need Plotly, so we can install pip install Plotly. We also need TLib. This is a very popular technical indicator library, but it's written in C, and installing it can be very complicated. So I am providing over here these instructions what all needs to be done for installing TLib. You need to download this file. I'm going to put a link to this file in the resources section. Then you unzip this file in ctlib. And to build it for 64-bit, you will have to install Visual Studio Community Edition, and you have to select only Visual C++ features. Then I have given instructions. Go to this native tools command prompt and go to this folder, and then need to run the command nmake. Once you have done this successfully, then you do pip install tlib. Then only this command will work. You also need another library, pandas ta. So these are three libraries that I'm going to use here, and I have a folder indicators which is there at the same indicators in the same zip file that I have uploaded for the other code. This IPYNB Jupyter notebook is in the same folder, and here I'm running this. So first of all, I'm reading some sample data. In the real world, you will replace this sample data CSV file with the actual data that you are receiving using your API. So for the sake of testing, I'm putting it as static data. So this is some BTC Bitcoin data. This is summary statistics like count, mean, standard deviation, minimum, 25 percentile, maximum. This is the common statistical data we refer to. And I'm using this describe function for that. Then this is a standard deviation, simple standard deviation. I have this function calculate STD, which is using a simple STD function and giving standard deviation. This is a rolling standard deviation. It means standard deviation is changing for 10 candlesticks on a rolling basis. So this is the rolling standard deviation. You can see standard deviation is changing. Then simple moving average. This is simple moving average, and I have given a period 26. You can change it. This is window size. This is exponential moving average 26, again window size. This is MACD, and I have written MACD code in this. If we go to indicators, this is the file indicator.py. I have written various functions SMA, EMA, rolling STD, MACD. So this is the code for MACD. Then there is code for Bollinger Band, ATR, all that. So let me calculate MACD. This is MACD. This is close price, and this is MACD. There are two lines in MACD. One is MACD line, another one signal line. Then we have Bollinger Band. This is Bollinger Band. There is upper Bollinger Band and lower Bollinger Band. Then ATR. This is ATR. RSI. This is close. This is RSI. And then super trend. This is the code to display super trend using Plotly. So this is super trend. I am using Plotly over here, and it's very interactive. You can zoom also. Here it starts lower. This is a negative signal, and this is a positive signal. It is pretty good. Then there is slope. This is the slope, and I am using numpy over here, numpy polyfit. So that's just a brief introduction of some of the common technical indicators that we can use with any of the brokers, and to write our strategies. If you want more comprehensive, detailed technical indicators explanation with code, you can check out my other course, Building Technical Indicators in Python. So this is another popular course. Over here, I have discussed in detail technical analysis, price action, candlestick patterns, and strategy development. So this is pretty comprehensive course you can check out. So that's all for this training on Coinbase. Let me know how you liked it. Give me your feedback. And if you have any questions, you can drop an email to me. Thanks for watching. Bye.